Good evening, this is Atmospheric Alex here, and welcome back to another US weather forecast outlook and discussion. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how we could have a really warm Christmas up ahead. I know I've been talking about this over the past few videos, but for the central and the eastern US, things are going to get mild really quickly out there, especially around Christmas time. So we're going to start off the video with some real-time analysis here. As you can take a look across the entire United States here, you see a ton of snow ongoing in the northeast right now, a ton of lake effect snow, even some snow squalls there in Pennsylvania. I want to point that out. You have a bit of a clipper system moving through, say, Duluth International Falls up there, and then a destructive windstorm ongoing across Wyoming and portions of Colorado. As a matter of fact, near the Boulder and the Denver areas, like in the mountains there in the Rockies, there have been wind gusts upwards of 100 to 110 miles an hour today. So kind of catastrophic winds out there in some areas, and very high fire danger as well, which has been very serious. Your atmospheric river continues in the Pacific Northwest, and then even portions a little further off to the south. We'll talk about that later on in the video. Before we do our United States deep dive, let's really quickly talk about our fire danger across Colorado today, and also your destructive to catastrophic windstorm as well. You can see we are talking about a level 3 out of 3 on the fire danger index. We're talking about an extreme fire risk in portions of your front range here, to your west of Denver, Fort Collins, Cheyenne, in those general areas there, and in your mountains. We are talking about a lot of problems, because with such intense mountain wave activity, your air is going to dry out rapidly, so very low relative humidity values do exist through here. And here's a look at your windstorm here from our HRRR model. This is absolutely ridiculous here. You can actually see earlier on this afternoon, we had some ridiculous wind gusts over here near Boulder, Colorado, upwards of 105 miles an hour. I think there was a report around 110 as well, so these winds have been absolutely howling, have been screeching out there. Thankfully, this mountain wave has not moved much further off to the west. So areas, near Denver, I have not actually seen really too much wind. That's the good news, right? Same cannot be said for areas further up north, though. Throughout Wyoming, look at this. We're talking about Cheyenne, upwards of 60, 70 mile an hour wind gusts, and all surrounding areas as well. A lot of wind is being produced right this second. Okay, now we're going to move on to our broad U.S. look here. We're taking a look at our Climate Prediction Center's temperature outlook. It's going to be above average basically everywhere. It is going to get really warm coming up, and honestly, I kind of respect it. I kind of appreciate the warm air coming in. The cold weather, the fast, brutal start to winter wasn't really all that exciting for me, but it's nice to see our warm weather return, even if it's just briefly, but you could see that there. Upwards of an 80 to a 90% chance of above average temperatures across quite a large portion of the US. Now, with all this warm air comes a reduced snowpack. As you can see, our snow over the next week is going to be melting significantly across portions of the northern US. You can see areas like Chicago will not see any snow left on the ground by the time Christmas rolls around. That is ridiculous. Portions of Wisconsin, Minnesota, maybe just a little bit of, maybe just like a skiff of snow left on the ground, but that is about it. So this big warm up is going to melt a ton of snow, and it's not going to feel like winter out there anymore, let me tell you that much. Now let's play our temperatures on through here on our European model. You can see, yes, there's going to be some colder air tonight. We do have that cold front moving through, but after that, we're expecting a pretty substantial warm-up after the next cold front. There's actually going to be another cold front, but it's not going to be that significant. As you can see, as we head into the 22nd, the 23rd of December, Christmas Eve, things really warm up here. We're talking about widespread 70-degree temperatures here across the entire southeast and deep south US there. And even portions of the southern plains as well is going to be seeing some extremely warm weather, unseasonably, potentially even record-breaking warmth for this time of year. As we head into Christmas Day here, and this is starting to become more like a forecast, we are talking about, look at this, portions of Missouri getting up to 70 degrees. Portions of Illinois here, Indiana, 70 degrees. For this time of year, that's quite remarkable. And portions of the Great Plains in your mid-70s, we could even squeak in a couple of upper 70s. It wouldn't even shock me if we saw an 80-degree reading somewhere in Texas or Oklahoma. So really, definitely going to be a warm one. As we head further through time here into, the day after Christmas, these warm temperatures continue getting more extreme. You can see they do push even further off to the north here. And we're talking about areas near Chicago, upwards of 60 to 65 degrees. That is basically shorts weather for that area in late December. Wow. I mean, that's going to feel really nice, isn't it? You got to really appreciate this warm up while it lasts, because there will probably be colder air moving in as we go into January and February, of course. But you could see warm air continues, and it just continues. Maybe some cool air after that, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be in a relative holding pattern over the next couple of weeks, but don't quote me on that. I think portions of the far northeast US is going to get into some colder air again, but all other areas basically untouched, still raging on in the 60s and maybe even 70s for some areas going into the new year, believe it or not. Your precipitation outlook here, you can see there's nothing really too significant that comes with this heat wave. A lot of activity out there, we'll talk about that in a minute. We are talking about maybe some scattered rain showers. With all this warm air coming in, you're going to see some convection. I'm not going to say really a risk of thunderstorms, but I guess we'll wait and see. Maybe we could get some storms out of that, but not a forecast. As we head on through into Christmas Day, wow, it is going to be high and dry basically everywhere. I mean, probably sunny skies as well. A sunny 70-degree Christmas. Wow, that is truly spectacular for this time of year. And the snow just stays away. And we get some more rain that moves in, and rain is pretty much going to be the main story, and basically calm conditions as well. But for the West, it's going to be a massively different story. We have our Pineapple Express atmospheric river here funneling in from Hawaii. This atmospheric river is quite an intense one. We had a tornado warning in Hawaii earlier this morning, believe it or not. So that's something to note. This, flow is so strong. You got so much warm, moist, unstable air mixed in with high amounts of wind shear that you actually do get some spin going on, and that is why you had your tornadic thunderstorm down there. And as we continue through, you can see our atmospheric river continues to pummel portions of California here. This is your precipitable water, so basically all your water stored in your atmosphere, and this just continues on through. A lot of moisture, but maybe we get a brief reprieve from it around Christmas and maybe a bit after Christmas, but this may set right back up for portions of Washington State into Oregon yet again. You all have been dealing with quite enough up there, and hopefully this can stay away from your area for a while. As we look at your precipitation here on your European model, you can see we definitely do have some rounds of rain into California, but we're going to continue through. A big old storm system could wallop California as we head into Christmas Eve, and then another big storm system into Christmas Day. And there's going to be some very significant winds with that, which we'll go over in just a minute. And then maybe it could quiet down a bit after. We'll have to see. Our rainfall totals will be very significant in some areas, especially Northern California. We're talking around a foot of rain for basically a lot of areas. That is not welcoming to see. And in your Sierra Nevadas, we're talking about a lot of rain as well. And how about it even etching into portions of Southern California as well? Something we're going to have to watch. Snowfall, you're going to see a ton of snow in your mountainous areas. Maybe even sneaking in on some of your lower elevation areas due to some maybe cooler air coming on through soon. Now, arguably, one of the biggest hazards out of these next couple storm systems is going to be your winds. As you can see, we do have some pretty intense winds ahead of your storm systems here moving on through, especially as we head into Christmas Eve. Look at this. We have a pretty powerful low pressure system forming, I suppose, right within here. You're going to have a ton of wind going on right in front of it here, kind of funneling on in here. And, as we take it through time, look at this. The GFS model here talking around 40 to maybe 50 mile an hour wind gusts for some areas. But the main show could, and I say could because there's a lot of uncertainties with it, the main show could be the storm on Christmas Day. Take a look at this. Yeah, now we're really talking winds upwards of 50 to almost 60 miles an hour. We'll have to wait and see. I might have to keep you all updated on that. I don't usually cover the West Coast, but for occasions like this, there may have to be some more uploads. This wind blows on by and then right on out. And with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to my little corner of the weather community, and share this video with friends and family on social media. Sorry if I seemed a little bit out of it today. For some reason, I was overthinking a few things in this video, but I'd say it still was sufficient enough to get out the correct information. All right, have a wonderful night, everyone, and stay very weather aware out there, especially, once again, along the West Coast. If I made a video yesterday, I would have said in East Tennessee because, boy, did we see some damaging winds yesterday. It was absolutely wild. Stay safe out there.